How you doing, everybody? This is Jonathan, your fitness business management expert, and in this video I'm going to address a question that I've gotten quite a bit on YouTube, and that question is, how long should I spend in the personal training realm before I make the jump over into boot camp training or going independent? And I've normally said spend about a year, but I didn't give you, I don't think, enough of a compelling reason why. I'm going to go over this now. And this is very important, so definitely watch this video all the way through. I recently had a situation talking to a friend who owned a personal training studio, and he allowed two people who just got into training, newbies, who didn't have much experience in the business ownership, fitness business ownership world, and he essentially allowed them to sublease. So he was like, all right, you guys do your thing while I do my thing. And the relationship, both business and friendship, ended pretty abruptly and badly, mainly because these folks who subleased, were breaking a lot of the standard rules of personal training and were kind of breaking a lot of business etiquette. And I personally think that it's because they never spent any time actually working in a gym, working under people. Now, luckily they didn't get to a point where they injured any of their clients, but that's another reason why I think it'd be a great idea to start off in a gym. You essentially don't want to leave until you are confident with not only what you know, but what you don't know, because you want to make sure that at the very least, if there's somebody whose issue is beyond your scope of knowledge, you can refer them out, or you're confident enough in yourself to say, I probably can't help you, but I know somebody that can. And I think that's where a lot of injuries happen, where the trainer either gets a little bit too fancy with their workout, or they try to play doctor, chiropractor, physical therapist, whatever the case may be, and they shouldn't. And you probably will get a lot of that out of the way if you spend time in a gym, because much like a medical student, you're going to have somebody watching over you and giving you advice, whether it be your head trainer or personal training manager, whatever your gym calls it, and they will be able to kind of critique, little things, because everybody, or anybody can start a boot camp and say do push-ups, do squats, run around and do squat thrusts, and their clients are sweating and they say, oh, that's great. But when you run into the client that really has a lingering injury or an issue or a respiratory issue, and you don't know how to treat them, or you put them in a situation where they're in more danger, not only are you first hurting the client, but you're hurting yourself, because if a client goes down off of something stupid that you're doing, everybody else is going to see it, and it's not good for business. You'll get the worst review ever, your clients will lose confidence in you, and then your business, kind of crumbles on its own. I liken it to somebody that takes a karate class. So they say, hey, if somebody touches your shoulder, grab their wrist like this, you break their arm like that. Until they get so jazzed up, they're all ready to pick a fight. Except when they get into a fight, the person doesn't grab their shoulder. They grab them by their collar, or they grab their neck, or they tackle them. I didn't learn that lesson yet, so they get beat up. And that's what I want you to avoid. I don't want you to get beat up by the system. You have to understand that working in a gym, while it isn't the most lucrative opportunity, you are at least safe, because the gym assumes a lot of responsibility. If a client gets injured, they're gonna sue the gym. If the client has a billing issue, they go to the gym. If you don't have clients, the gym is always bringing you clients. Until you're ready to accept all responsibility for those three aspects, marketing, billing, the safety of your clients, you probably shouldn't try to just jump off on your own. You're going to be best served by spending at least a year in a gym, and once you're confident with both what you know and what you don't know, then you're ready to own a business. In a recent video, I went over the warm-up cone game, and I just happened to mention that I was at the gym at like 10:35 at night. I run my boot camps at 5:30 in the morning. I actually could have made that video at 9:35, but it took me an extra hour because I wanted to vacuum the floors and make sure that the floor is nice and clean. And owners are very nitpicky, good ones at least. If you go into a good restaurant, the number one thing that you're going to notice is that it's clean. And owners that, what I found, are the best, or the managers that are the best, like my bank manager, what separated a good manager at one location or one branch from the other branches. That one got hired in as a manager, they came in from another industry, and the other one had started off as a teller, became a salesman, became like a loan specialist, they became assistant manager, they became a manager. And the other one had worked at Circuit City, and because they were a sales manager at Circuit City, they assumed, all right, it'll be a great manager over for this bank. And the one that had kind of gone through the ropes and had seen everything was a much better manager, and their branch was run very smoothly, as opposed to the other one who only really knew how to bark at people. And that's not the kind of trainer that you want to be. That's not what's going to get you a lot of clients, and that's not what's going to keep your clients. Anybody that has been in this industry for long enough, and I hope that you take the time to comment on this video and reinforce or back up some of what I'm saying to protect this industry from people that don't give the importance of a good background enough credit, will tell you that's important that you pay your dues. I think one of the main reasons that I'm such a stickler for form and cleanliness is because A, my manager was, and B, I just got sick and tired of being in environments in a gym where it wasn't clean, it wasn't organized, and I did my best on my own time to make sure that at least when I was training, it had some semblance of order, and then I carried that on with me. If one day, I didn't know how to find clients, or I wasn't, Groupon kind of dried out, I still have that experience of knowing how to go up to somebody cold and just talking to them, and that's something that every trainer, I think, should go through. The 12-hour days where you're just doing comps all day. While it's not fun, and while it's not something that I would make my lifestyle, it really does prepare you for the business world, because at the end of the day, it's always going to be just on you. So I'd rather you not just take the cool new exercises that you know and throw them at people. You want to have some kind of base of character, ethics, cleanliness, and training before you go off and put your name on something. Because once your name is tarnished and your reputation is tarnished, it's going to be very hard to rebuild it. So take the time. I'd say spend at least a year in the gym or work under a trainer, and get your experience. On a side note, I'm actually starting a new facility, and I interviewed a lot of trainers, and one in particular was a nice guy, but his when I asked how long have you been training, he said like 2 months. He worked in an LA Fitness for 2 months, and because they weren't really like feeding him clients or they weren't treating him right, then he quit. And he wanted to be in a situation where I essentially set him up with a location and fed him a ton of clients. And nice guy, but as soon as he said 2 months and quit, there was nothing more to talk about. Like, we talked, and I didn't end the interview because I wanted to get to know him as a person. Maybe he has skills that I can use later on in life, but he was not equipped to start a boot camp. And if you were going to go for a boot camp franchise, interview yourself. Are you really ready? The guy that I ended up choosing had a lot more experience, tried to run a boot camp on his own. The only thing was he didn't have the marketing experience, and that is something I was able to provide for him, and he's going to do just fine. So before you jump in, pay your dues, be a little bit old school, be a runs in the gym for a while, and it will pay off later on in life. So I hope you found this video helpful. Remember to like this video, comment on this video. If you're on Facebook, share this video. If you're on Twitter, remember to retweet this video. There are a lot of other trainers out there that would not have access to this information if it wasn't for your help. So if you find this information to be of a special value to you, pay it forward. Also, add this to your favorites. I will routinely change the title of the video, which may make it hard to find on my channel, purely for search engine optimization, or I'll find that it's better suited in a different playlist. So if you want to make sure that you save this content, add it to your favorites. If you just happen to stumble upon this video, subscribe to this channel. There's going to be a wealth of information as this channel is dedicated toward helping people get into the fitness industry as personal trainers, helping personal trainers become better personal trainers or boot camp owners, and helping boot camp owners become really successful boot camp owners. So there's going to be a wealth of information, and if you subscribe to this channel, I will do my best to hold your attention. So remember to eat healthy, hydrate, drive safe. Stress levels low, get rest, don't slap anybody. I will see you all tomorrow or the next day, and you have a good one.